Hi everyone, Donna here from Heaven to Earth Ministries. Thank you so much for joining me today for our daily devotional. I really appreciate you being here. Today we are talking about the praying Jesus. Jesus' life was full of prayer. He was always in conversation with his Father. And it wasn't just these little short prayers or prayers of few words, but he spent hours with his Father. Luke recorded in Luke chapter 6, verse 12 on one occasion. Now it came to pass in those days, then he went out to the mountain to pray and continued all night in prayer to God. Oftentimes after a day filled with ministry, Jesus would go to prayer with his Father. Mark 1:35. This was Mark recording this occasion. Jesus spent all day and practically all night healing people, ministering to people, and Mark said afterwards, now in the morning, having risen a long while before daylight, he went out and departed to a solitary place, and there he prayed. So whenever he was exhausted from ministry, he would spend time alone with his Father. As Mark said, he went to a solitary place, and then Luke saying how he prayed all night long. So he definitely spent a lot of time in prayer. In John chapter 17, this is the longest prayer that we have recorded of Jesus. And he, in this prayer, it's really interesting to know what he prays for. And most of that prayer is for his disciples. So he definitely prayed for others. In John 17, I'm just going to read a few pieces of that prayer. In verse 1, after Jesus said this, he looked toward heaven and prayed, Father, the hour has come. Glorify your Son, that your Son may glorify you. He prayed for them. Let's see, which one else do I want to read? In verse 11, he's praying for his disciples. I will remain in the world no longer, but they are still in the world, and I am coming to you, Holy Father. Protect them by the power of your name, the name you gave me, so they may be one as we are one. I like the way he knew he would be leaving his disciples soon, and he was praying for God to protect them and that they could become one and be united as he and his Father were. In verse 13, I am coming to you now, but I say these things while I am still in the world, so that they may have the full measure of my joy within them. Isn't that cool how he prayed to his Father for his disciples to have joy? Verse 15 again, my prayer is not that you take them out of the world, but that you protect them from the evil one. He really thought a lot of his disciples, and this refers to us today because we're disciples of his as well. Verse 17, sanctify them by the truth. Your word is truth. Verse 21, that all of them may be one, Father, just as you are in me and I am in you. May they also be in us, so that the world may believe that you have sent me. Verse 23 and 24. I in them and you in me, so that they may be brought to complete unity. Then the world will know that you sent me and have loved them, even as you have loved me. Father, I want those you have given me to be with me where I am and to see my glory, the glory you have given me because you loved me before the creation of the world. So he really prayed a great deal for his disciples. And if you'd like to read that on your own, all of John 17 is a prayer of Jesus. And in verses 6 through 19 is where he's praying for his disciples. Verses 20 to the end of the chapter, verse 26, Jesus is praying for all believers. So he was praying for us, and he still prays for us. In Hebrews chapter 7 and verse 25, therefore he is able to save completely those who come to God through him, because he always lives to intercede for them. So he's still praying for us. He's still interceding for us. He is definitely the praying Jesus, in constant communication with the Father. So this sets a good example for us, that we also spend time in prayer with God. Not just quick little prayers of a few words, but really spending time with God, for he is our Father. And also that we pray for others as we're walking with Christ. So have you said your prayer today? Have you said several prayers today? Do you make it a daily habit to pray? Because prayer is how our life is nourished. That's how our spiritual life is nourished, through prayer. And prayer also helps to keep our vision clear. Thank you so much for joining me today. Again, I appreciate it so much when you spend time with me with our daily devotion. Please give this video a thumbs up. That tells YouTube that you like the content. Also, if you have not subscribed to our channel, we would appreciate it if you did that. And for those of you who are subscribed, thank you so much. We really love having you as part of our YouTube family. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget to make prayer your daily habit, and I'll see you tomorrow for another daily devotional. Bye-bye.